the little fake goldfish inside the clear heel, and they were all dancing around, looking at me like, ah! We're on the same stage where the girls dancing. There's this pole right in the center. So I'm playing along, and I turn around, and I see this freaking giant clear heel. And there's this girl swinging on the freaking pole. That was a lot of fun. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Riffs and
Rhythms podcast.
I am the Kevin McLaughlin, and this is
Paul Robertson.
Welcome. We're going to start this off with a shot, and we are drinking a toast to that thing that we should have thought of, but we can't think of.
What was it?
The thing I can't think of.
Do not come.
You trying to see Kevin wear this Jim Beam?
Luckily, it takes a little more than that.
Yeah. So what? So we are back here, the Riffs and Rhythms podcast here, and it's been the last few episodes there with Dottie. We just had.
I know
Oh,
it was
my
nice
God.
to get back after you've been cheating on me.
That's
for a
right.
month
That's right.
with other co-hosts.
That's right. And I kept it in the family though, which meaning the Brock family.
Absolutely, but it's nice to be here again.
Right. Yeah. So it's good after to go back. So what have you been up to in the last few weeks here?
Well, the ongoing production of my second album is the second album is under construction,
Okay.
and some of it's actually kind of good.
All right. I mean, this is you keeping it so under wraps. I haven't even heard it yet.
Well, that's correct. I haven't heard it all either, honestly. But the first album was live. We were just talking about that. This album is going to be a studio recording, and I'm going to reprise the song Day by Day.
Okay.
Because that's everyone's favorite song of mine. So we're going to do a studio version of that. And a lot of new music. We're looking to get permission to use a few other artists' songs because we've got some significantly reworked versions of some super cool tunes.
Is that maybe the one that you did recently, the cover song?
Yeah, I do it all the time.
Ooh, maybe she can go on tour with you.
No.
Well, I appreciated the off-air folks here. In the,
That
got it.
All right,
Thank
so
you,
what-
Tracy.
What Paul is talking about, and by the way, as we move forward with that insightful comment, and I don't mean that sarcastically.
Wait, hold on. Did you just give me a compliment?
No, it couldn't have been that. So we've got some guests on the line, and
That's right, yes.
we are here with Apostolic Floyd. Man, how are you?
I'm doing great.
So we're learning a lot about this guy, an awesome writer and performer, and we were talking about the fact that my artist development company has given me some tasks to do, and one of them was I want you to do a cover and have it be a song that no one would ever guess is you, something no one would ever think that you would do. So I'm like, I've got the perfect song. So I did an acoustic cover of "Toxic" by Britney Spears. And it came out really I was able to make it kind of bluesy, believe it or not. And you can see that on my, I've got it out. It's out on YouTube. But
check that out.
But I'm saying all that to say that's not the one that's on the album.
Okay, I wasn't sure. I was. But I mean, especially though with that particular song, I was really hoping that you would do a performance of the video of that song, rolling around with a snake. So, but
No, you just want to see me with a sparkly dress and pushing one of those little airplane carts with the drinks on it.
I got your snake right here.
Okay, whatever.
But yes, all right. So well, since let's just jump right back into it here with our guest here, right? Let's us stop fooling around and just get to business.
Yeah, so tell us about yourself, man.
Oh man.
No, just not to put you on the spot. You've had a lot of cool shows recently.
Yes.
And where I met you was at the Treasure Coast International Blues Challenge. So tell us about what it was like to be a part of that.
All right. It feels actually so long ago. Honestly.
It kind of was.
Yeah. Honestly, it's been great. during the competition, it was definitely an experience just to be able to say that you're traveling for, your passion, So I think that was more of, like a good eye opener for me to be like, oh yeah, keep doing this, keep going, because, when you're just kind of just starting out and maybe not getting gigs at all, and now you're in a competition that's saying, hey, you could qualify and go here and compete, it's a very motivating thing. Yeah. So honestly, it was great. And then I did second finals when I was in Clarksdale, and or it was the first one. I don't know. It was the first round or the second round that I was able to perform, but didn't get far. But it was still a great experience when I was able to do it, and be able to perform on Beale Street and all that stuff. So yeah,
very cool, very cool. So if you were going to describe your style of music, what would you call it?
I mean, I love the blues, and I'm always going to say it comes from the blues,
Yeah, it definitely does.
And that's what I always just tell people, even if they aren't, listeners of the blues music, and they still like my music, they won't agree with me and say like, nah, that's not blues, even though I'm like, it's 1-4-5, it's straight up, what I'm telling, people at a jam, I'm like, it's just 1-4-5 like this. You just this is the rhythm, you know what I mean? So, I would always say, it comes from the blues, but it's rock, it's soul, it's R&B,
yeah,
it's funk.
I was hearing a lot of like 60s psychedelic influence in there, but it's definitely your own vibe. Yeah, Jimi Hendrix for sure. But it's your own vibe. It's kind of like a true, as Eric Johnson would say, an amalgamation of all those different styles you just mentioned.
So do you want to know what ChatGPT said?
No.
About my music?
Yeah.
Okay, let me hear it.
All right, so it goes into... So it's, you're a multifaceted musician, singer, songwriter, and producer. So far, so good? Agree with that? Okay.
I agree with that.
All right. AI is doing good so far. He's recognized for his unique fusion of blues, rock, funk, and soul, which he terms beach blues. Does that sound right?
Sounds just about right.
Okay. This innovative style blends traditional blues elements with contemporary sounds, aiming to introduce the genre to a new generation. Which is, this is it.
You need to copy and paste that. That's his new bio.
Right? That sounds pretty good.
Right there, man. Yeah,
sounds almost better than the one that I got right now.
Okay, yeah. Fire your publicist.
Well, keep reading.
But it's probably doing that based off of my description.
Yeah. So
there's a couple more paragraphs.
All right. In 2022, Apostoli formed the band in Miami. The band is dedicated to keeping the blues alive by combining traditional and modern influences to create music that resonates both physically and emotionally with audiences. He released several singles showcasing his musical versatility, with most recently, just about a month or so ago, you just released a whole album. Yeah.
Dusk Till Dawn, yes.
That's right.
Rock on. So copy and paste that and text it to him.
Wait till
right now.
Okay, jeez, you're fucking so nagging.
I am. Hurry up.
Don't worry, I'm going to go look at what ChatGPT said about you.
Oh, it's going to be like, who? Who's Kevin McLaughlin?
Just another Irish guy.
He owes me money. Where is he?
So you guys cross path at which blues competition there?
The Treasure Coast.
This past one, or
this past one, the Hop Life.
Okay, gotcha. Okay. What's your thoughts about the experience going through?
That one, I love that one.
Yeah.
Cool. Both of them are honestly, I think I enjoy it more just to meet the musicians.
Right.
Really.
Okay.
Yeah, that is a really good part of it.
Now, are you located up here in the area, or are you still down south, or
still down south?
Okay.
Yeah,
all right.
Miami
Okay. So is there a blues society down in Miami, or is this at the furthest south society?
The one in I think, what is it, Boca or Plantation?
Okay, there is one. Okay, got it. Okay. Yeah, because I was talking to Kevin about some opportunities to put some things together in West Palm, and trying to bring maybe a blues show together with a couple other things that I've been involved with on the other side. And I said, is West Palm too far for Treasure Coast? The reach down into, but I guess not.
I ain't scared of Palm Beach.
Okay, all right, yeah.
It's a gray area for sure because it's outside of the Treasure Coast, but we have regularly, in the past, done events in Palm Beach County.
Okay, all right, okay. Well, we'll take it under consideration.
Absolutely. We'll have our people talk to our other people.
Yeah, we have people?
Yeah, me and you.
Oh, Devin. That's right. Yeah, Devin, get on it.
Yeah, do that, Devin.
Got you.
So
Yeah, so-
you accidentally shared the fact that you have a formal education in music production. Fill us in on that.
I don't want to say music production, but more of audio engineering.
Okay.
Yeah. So it was, just the ins and outs, of audio signal flow, So I just did that for a year at SAE and met a lot of great people. And in that time, I was actually working on Dusk Till Dawn. So that was in that process of actually being able to kind of learn more of the ins and outs of the studio, etiquette and all the, the gear in there and be able to kind of implement it in my music. And then I was able to take that knowledge and then transfer it over to Criteria Studios. So I was recording it.
Historic South Florida studio.
Yes.
So did you track it at SAE and then mix it down? At
No, it
Criteria?
was kind of maybe like a little bit rehearsals, maybe demos at SAE. Not much. Maybe I would do a little bit of guitar dubbing at SAE, just very light things. But the performance was at Criteria.
Yeah. How many great albums have come out of Criteria?
It was great. We did it in the room where they did I Shot the Sheriff and Staying Alive, Bee Gees.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
It was great.
Now, we've talked about in the show before is like when we went to Memphis, not this, last year, I guess, about being in Sun Studios, and there was just this vibe, this feeling of it. Did you feel anything similar with what's been recorded there? Channel any of that? Did you channel Clapton or the Bee Gees?
Nah, I think I
Dwayne
was
Allman.
Or both, a little both.
I mean,
Or the Allman
for
Brothers.
me with music, it always comes from within, comes from the people that I was surrounded with in my life. Those other things, those are cool things to think about. But for me, it really didn't pay any mind to me. But yeah.
Okay. Very cool. So going back here, we're going to go way back here. How did you get into music?
Honestly, I have to say that's really my mother. You know what I mean? She's the one because in my family, no one is a musician. People think that, everyone is a musician. He sang. My father sang a little bit, but.
Well, that counts.
Yeah, I'll count it.
I
but
know a couple of singers who are actually musicians.
He said,
My mother sang too. And a lot of my friends do too.
Yeah.
But my mother, she's the one that put me into piano lessons, vocal lessons, the musicals. Made sure that I was always getting tutored by every subject in schools, everything like that. So I was already building a foundation to be disciplined in something. And already through when I was growing up, she almost saw something, even though I was playing football and loved the sports and all that stuff. She saw a future in me with music, and being a performer and being an artist. So usually whenever I'm working on my music, I'm channeling her. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Very cool.
Yeah.
So is that then going through school during that time period? So you got out of sports, but still kind of adjacent, but
It
not
was-
like music in school?
I played from, I could say, I don't even remember, but I was already maybe a toddler starting piano lessons and him being my little league coach in, you could say, damn near every sport, soccer, baseball, football, and then doing golf lessons, tennis lessons, and you can name it. And then I was doing it.
All right.
Yeah.
So what's your handicap?
What's my handicap? Well, now I just do the music, so you
Okay.
can see what just worked out. Yeah.
Oh, that's too cool. So, yeah. So I guess in South Florida, and what were some of your influences? Locally first, right?
Like musically.
Yeah, musically, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, every day at school, my dad is just putting on a new CD. Police, Prince, Goody Mob, Outkast, Tribe Called Quest, you name it. Just
Okay.
the CD case that you open up in the car. I'm filing through it, and he's telling me to pull out a CD, and I'm listening to it, and it's more being open to every genre
Yeah,
of music.
right, yeah.
You know.
You're not showing his age by you're defining the CD case we all had when we were in our cars when you carry
I kind
in
of
our car,
want to
right?
flex that to show that I actually know what's going on, a little bit.
Yeah, it's not entering it into the search bar. It's
No,
flipping
no,
through
yeah.
the CD case.
Exactly. We still have them. We still have still in that binder.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
not every CD ever made is available for streaming. And if so, it's not always the version that was on the CD.
Exactly.
The remastering is not always a good thing.
Yeah, we've talked a lot about that, about albums and resurgence of vinyl even too, right? So it's a different sound.
I was just thinking about, when I said the word remastering, I was thinking about one of my favorite albums of all time is Peter Frampton, Frampton Comes Alive. And my favorite song on that album is Do You Feel Like We Do? And in the long solo section of the quiet solo section, Bob Mayo does a keyboard solo, and the most dramatic note of the whole thing, he flubs it. He hits like 2 notes at the same time, like a half step apart. And I've been listening to that since I first got turned on to the album. And in the remastered 25th anniversary, or 100th anniversary version, whatever it was, I don't even know. They remastered it and they fixed that note. And so now when I listen to it and I'm waiting for that classic flub and it's not there, and I'm like, oh, I just don't like it. The right note doesn't sound right because I've been hearing it for 30 years with the wrong note.
He was playing jazz.
And but the thing and maybe that particular note is what brought me to the philosophy that I use with my music now is, straight up real. No studio tricks, no auto tune, which a lot of people regret that. But it's not machine enhanced. It's not, polished over. It's bare bones. This is what it sounds like. And that might be the note that got me onto that philosophy.
One taken, right?
Yeah, well, I know Bob Mayo hated hearing it his whole life. His most prominent mistake got thrown in his face like 20 times a day on radio. So I know I get why he wanted to change it, but I don't like that.
Probably drove him crazy.
I'm sure it did, yeah.
It's a lot of events going on in the Church Blues Society, and obviously we there. So
April 13th, I'm doing the Kevin McLaughlin Band Family Gathering.
That's right,
at Terra Firmata.
So.
Nice.
Sunday afternoon, which is going to be. I've decided I'm going to include an open jam. I recently lost my keyboard player, and he's having health problems. And turns out he's a lot harder to replace than I expected. So I'm going to invite people to come sit in with us at the family gathering. So,
did you say earlier that you play keyboards?
Well, I mean, I started on piano.
Okay.
But no.
No, he's like, dude, I got my own thing.
He goes,
can't
fuck
be
you. I'm in the front. I'm in the front now. Yeah. I can't have two shining.
You can't do that.
Colliding.
We'll do a tour together, but we're not going to play. And we'll sit in with each other's band.
I was thinking that today, Kevin, was like, tour, or even before you talked about, and maybe it was because I was listening to the episode, the first episode we had with Dottie talking about a tour that was more than just playing a couple of the same different bars around the area, but actually making a tour even around the state. Was maybe we got to work on. Get some sponsors. I know our good friend Chris, Knox and Dunn, shout out there, is always, he's into music. He's always promoting. He was our big title sponsor from the festival. Supported that. Was maybe we got to kind of do a little bit of a tour. A few folks and bands together.
I have been looking forward to creating a musical traveling circus.
So,
in which it's the same few bands, and we just go do a bunch of damage in one place, and then go somewhere else and do some damage. Positive musical damage, of course. But yeah,
not like Viking.
Well, no, we're not going to do the Viking thing and
okay.
Fight naked or anything.
Okay, well,
that's for after.
Okay, perfect.
Sonic destruction.
Honestly, that would probably be something really cool. But we do it just like a circus, and you got to do it with the tents, and it's right,
yeah,
and the stage is in the middle. We just got to figure out how we get a line.
You got Devin's attention for sure.
I'd go hard.
That's a great idea. We need an elephant.
Yeah.
Got me.
Oh no, we're not doing that.
We got Babar.
Or maybe some sort of circus. I'm in. I'm definitely in. I was just last night. I was watching a video of the Rolling Stones when they were trying to promote their album. Which album? I can't remember which one it was, but they did a show on TV, and the show was a circus theme.
That's cool.
Yeah, so that's what we'll do. We'll have 3 bands, so it'll be a 3-ring circus, and we'll have a ringleader, and maybe what we'll do is we'll find a circ, and we'll have them do all their acrobatics while we're playing over the top of the stage. Wouldn't that be cool?
That'd be really cool.
That would be awesome.
The circus delay available? You think?
The circus get laid.
Get laid?
So it's-
Isn't Pink into all that whole floating around?
Yeah,
and all
she-
that? Yeah.
yeah, she
what's
does.
what's she doing nowadays?
I do not know.
Okay, all right.
But what do they call that? She's hanging from a sheet.
Aerobatics. And
Yeah, it's
whatever.
cool. But yeah, we'll get some. Maybe some people who got fired from this Sea World.
hey, you know what? Stripper poles work as well too.
Oh, I have a stripper pole story for. You'll get
it's
a,
durable story.
you'll get a kick out of this.
Are you doing Tales from the Road yourself?
No, well, I have to tell these stories because if I don't tell them when I'm reminded of them, they'll eventually
All right,
fade
go
from
for
my
it.
memory, and
Must have record.
yeah. So I was playing in this biker band called Crossbone, and we got an opportunity to play on Mother's Day, and there was a what?
Just laughing, and we were already starting another conversation about strippers and Mother's Day. This is
Well,
going so. I can't
there's a
wait.
tie-in
I
to
can't
that.
wait. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
And we had some friends who ran a fairly large, unnamed strip bar in Palm Beach County, right near the highway. And
Let's start with an R.
nope.
Oh.
And so we are performing. It's a big biker event, motorcycles everywhere, and we're there. And it's like 1 o'clock in the afternoon. The show's supposed to start at 3, and none of the girls were showing up. And it turns out that we had to change the name of the celebration to Single Mother's Day because none of those dancers wanted to be disassociated from their children on Mother's Day. So they had to offer these girls a lot of money to come in. So they finally came in, and so we started playing. And the band, it was a 5-piece Southern rock band, and we're on the same stage where the girls dance, and there's this pole right in the center. So I'm playing along into it, and there's a bunch of people on the side stage, so I'm playing to the side stage, and all of a sudden I hear this sound. And I'm like, oh, that's weird. And then I hear this sound again. I'm like, what is that? Like, there are giant mosquitoes in here. And I turn around, and I see this freaking giant clear heel missed me by that much. And there's this girl swinging on the freaking pole.
She knows right where you are, though.
She was good because she was only missing me. But if I had hair, it'd have been messing it up.
You know that Jackie Chan interview where he's doing the kicks and he knows right where it is? They're like that. They're professionals.
Yeah, they are.
They're professionals.
And I started looking, and she had the little fake goldfish inside the clear heel, and they were all dancing around, looking at me like, ah!
That's crazy.
I was laughing so hard I could barely finish the song. That was a lot of fun.
Do you ever have any gigs like that?
No, I don't think I've ever played in a strip club. They've had a few open mics. A lot of my friends, they
Your
host
strip
open
clubs have
mics.
open mics?
Yeah, they
Wow.
have some strip
I'd
clubs that have
love
open
to see
mics.
that.
Whoa.
It's an amateur talent in the strip club.
There's no dancing
mixed
involved.
feelings.
It's just,
Oh, okay.
there's just an open mic. Just single-handed like that. Yeah. It's just in the strip club.
Oh, I
Open
gotcha.
mic, open pole.
We'll let you get up there and sing. Just take your clothes off.
Yeah. Oh my.
Open mic, open pole. That should be a
Open pole. Oh yeah.
that should be a night.
It's a pole sit in
Oh
night.
my!
Some open mics are not strip clubs, but they have a pole for the acts that they just want to. Some girls even are rappers, and they also they do pole dancing, and they do them at the open mics. They don't even. Some of them they're not strippers. They work at the clubs. So it's
So
it's not like it's like a strip. It's like a strip club, but it's like not.
So how
But
many-
yeah,
So they're literally rapping all around the pole.
they're straight rappers.
Sweet.
So do you hang out with Cardi B?
Hang out with Cardi B.
Isn't she from Miami?
I thought she's from New York.
Isn't she a stripper?
Right? Oh.
Isn't she a stripper, Devin?
Was.
Was.
Yeah.
Oh, was.
Yeah.
Was.
Well,
She would bend that pole.
I don't. Jeez, I don't know about now, but yeah,
There goes
she
having
was.
her on the podcast.
Yeah, like she would have taken her offer anyway. All right, so what? Who said that?
Anyway, so wow, this is I'm not sure where this show
Cardi
is
B
going.
has always wanted to be on our podcast.
I know,
That's
yeah.
why she wrote that song in hopes of getting our attention.
That's right. WAP.
Yeah, it means WAP stands for I want to be
On the
your
podcast.
wet ass podcast.
That might have to be the title of this episode.
Yeah, wet ass
Wet-ass
podcast.
Yeah, that's podcast.
Oh my God. So yeah, exactly.
I'm not sure.
Yeah. So we'll try to get back to music here, talk here. So, so you sing and play guitar though, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So, and then your most recent, right? Dusk Till Dawn. Yeah. So where did you come up with a lot of that material then? You know, is that stuff that's been over many years and kind of?
I don't want to say many years. No.
Okay.
It was probably maybe be like a year or two.
Okay.
Like it's fairly new material because it was mainly kind of the music that was really inspiring me by everyone I was meeting at the jams and all that. It was because music that you listened before my album is fairly pop. You know, I would say that. You know,
I was
Stay in Boots is like somewhat of like an alternative country or something like that, like a little slow rock or something like that, ballad rock. But it was mainly pop, and all the music that I was kind of making throughout my whole childhood was pop, But now I'm, getting a little older, and then when I was in the blues, I kind of got more of the soul in there.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
yeah.
And obviously want the live performance in there, and needed a band,
Okay.
So, and it was kind of the music that I was writing when I was meeting all these people, kind of having the this to perform it with people instead of just programming it, just saying like this is a cool song to listen to and have people jam to it. It's more of also having music to connect with people live, So it was also a driving force in just wanting to play it live too.
Okay. So explain to me Cobra Yoga.
Okay, Cobra Yoga was that's
He locked in now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
right,
Say what I
locked
say.
in. That was
I did my
actually- that was
homework, right?
before Dusk Till Dawn, way before Dusk Till Dawn. Supernova, Dude Abides, Black Beret. Those years, I forgot, what was it? I want to say 2022, I think. Those were those songs when they were written. And Cobra Yoga was written a while ago. And it's more of, and you're asking the meaning of the song. So the meaning of the song is mainly, just our battle with, our phones, the digital world. That's really what it is. And Cobra Yoga is just playing with words of a snake charmer,
Okay.
We're charmed by the phone, and that's why there's the, the riff of the flute riff, dun, 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 dun. It's kind of, you're being charmed by, the digital world.
Okay.
And your phone and everything that's going down. That's why I'm saying, you're stuck in a coma, you know what I mean? And it's digital chemicals are so cynical, stuff like that,
Okay. And then now, this is really interesting, right? Because, Kevin and I are old, right? But, that for you to come and think about that through it, as I know you're younger than us, right? But that's, what I'm just getting at is you're recognizing those kinds of things for maybe your generation or, right?
I mean, it's kind of scary to say, but it's like all young people, we all know, we all recognize it. Like we're not oblivious to it. It's the same thing as, when you want to have a drink or when you want to smoke a cigarette, when you want to have a smoke, those small things. You just do it. It's fuck it. I mean, if I want, yeah.
Okay.
But it's those little things. I think we, as young people, we don't want to dwell too much on it because we're all human. We all have this problem. It's just in another form.
So do you think you suffer from that?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. I think we all do. I mean, to say that we don't is pretty crazy.
But I think
you
it's-
got to be like Morgan Freeman. I mean, like, he's the only guy who's, I think, could just live his life to not just with the newspaper.
Yeah.
And he'll still have a job, though. That's the thing.
I know.
Because we need it.
He's been old
to
for
be
like 50
employed.
years, and he's, Morgan
He'll
Freeman's-
be sitting at a coffee shop and a payphone, even though they don't work, will ring. And they'll track him down and he'll get his job.
He don't carry a cell phone?
No, I don't know. I bet he doesn't know.
He probably doesn't. He's got people
for that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Where he's got his
But
he's got his medical alert bracelet.
For me, it is difficult to deal with the fact that the source of my productivity is also the source of my lack of productivity. That's a pain.
Because we live in a world where you could pull out your phone, connect to the world, and really make a change in your whole life. Or you just sit on it, scroll and going down the rabbit hole for hours, waste some time. But that's what's amazing though about it. You can do both.
But I think that's interesting for right for those are musicians who create. It's a necessary evil to your point, right? It's that the phone, the social media, the internet promoting and again getting it out there. But you have also you're spending your time creating music as well too. So it's an interesting dynamic as opposed
That's
to
probably the most frustrating thing.
yeah, right, yeah.
It's
you,
really
you
annoying.
need it's like you need it, you hate it, but it's a necessity.
They always say consistency is key, and we're musicians and we always stay consistent with our music. And next thing you know, they're like, just like how you said, advertising. No one's gonna find the water that you just poured in the ocean, you know.
Yeah.
But if you stay consistent, that has nothing to do with your music and everything just about promoting. And then you're now taken away from your music. You're not worried about your music anymore. You're really worried about just promoting it, which is not staying consistent with your music. You know what I mean? Of how we feel. How we
tough
feel. We want to be
balance.
practicing.
Yeah.
We want to be playing all the time. And sometimes there would be days where I know I should be posting, but I'm just practicing. And then I feel like you have the same guilt when you don't practice. I have the same guilt when I'm not posting.
Yeah.
It's this
Yeah,
crazy
I got it on
thing,
both
you know?
sides.
Yeah. We've
I
got
gotta-
it bad now.
I for I don't know how long now. I do a post on 3 platforms every day, and it's made
It kind of drives
But
you
I
crazy
don't
a
play
little bit.
3 guitars every day. Like
Right,
I
right.
need to be doing that. I got to make sure I do both.
Well, I guess that's tough, right? It's like, did you posted today? Did you touch your guitar today?
I touched the case handle.
Okay, all right, that's close enough. But
It's-
yeah,
I've got
That's
it with
close.
me. It's out in the car.
yeah. But it kind of goes back to you said advertising, right? And before the show started, Kevin had mentioned and Tracy that they saw your show poster flyers on the other side of the state, right? So there's still that method of getting out there and advertising, and you're still hustling to do those things.
So how did you do that? Did you go to? You were there. You guys, you were there.
Yeah, we were there.
Yeah,
my father and I. Yes.
We were driving by. I'm like, that guy is a promotion animal.
That was a trip, man. It was a trip.
Well, I mean, literally, or
It was a literal trip.
okay,
and it
okay, I
was a
wasn't
trip.
sure. I wasn't sure how your context.
Yeah, it was awesome.
So yeah, so where did I missed that part? But where did you see it though?
It was what city was that in? Bradenton. Yeah.
Okay. So did you say, "Holy shit, I know that guy"? Is
Yeah,
that what it kind of was?
getting all fangirl and stuff.
Nice. There was this one sign also. It was like by a gas station. I don't know if you saw that one.
We only saw the one.
Oh, but we got on, those little like kind of billboard signs next to the gas station.
Mm-hmm.
But there was nothing on it. So then we kind of just climbed up on it, put a poster there. So it kind of looks like a billboard.
That
a
is
little bit.
awesome.
Very
Nice.
cool.
I don't know if they took it down though, but
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, you run that risk, but
Yeah.
still.
Yeah.
Did you take a photo of it?
Oh yeah, I got a video.
yeah,
I got a video. Yeah.
All right. And so all I could afford was this 1/8 of part of the billboard.
Right. This is how far I'll run you back, man.
Oh, too funny. So, so we've got a couple segments here we want to go. We go through. We ask all the guests is, do you have a tales from the road? Right. So this is kind of one of those Spinal Tap kind of things. Fall off the stage, or somebody vomited, or we've had quite a few people talk about being involved with fires and at gigs. It's people shooting guns out of a vehicle. Remember, yeah. So it's been some crazy stuff. Crazier the better.
The crazier the better. Okay, well, I will say, I've only been gigging probably around 2, maybe 3 years.
Okay.
So it's fairly early. I won't say I have like crazy stories.
Should we ask your dad to leave the room so you could protect the innocent?
No. Here.
It's okay. No one's listening. You could tell us anything.
I guess this one story. It was more of a funny story. I was doing a show, and this one girl was at the show, stayed for the whole show, and then we went to the next bar over, and we ran into these 2 people. And the one guy who was at the other bar, it was like a rooftop bar, said that it was in a hotel. He said that he had one of the rooms you know, like he has a room there. He doesn't live there, but he has one of the rooms. So it's like, let's all go back and you know, just have fun, you know, have a drink and all that. Anyway, the girl that he brought back, it was this beautiful Russian lady. Anyway, she was you know, a little, you know, she was getting there, you know what I mean, to where, you know, she's doing a stripper show for all of us, you know.
Andy.
Tell me why this guy is looking directly at me talking about like business. Like, I forgot what he was talking about, man. I'm next to my girl, like trying to be like, hey, do you want to watch the show? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then he's just like, no, the thing's about, I forgot about what he's saying. I'm not a business guy. So it's like, he was saying words that were going right over my head. And then anyway, he almost seemed like
Sorry,
he was just
all
like,
the blood from here should be listening somewhere else.
Yeah. Right.
and then but the crazy part about it is that then she got a call and it was her husband. Yeah, so then she's going into the bathroom trying to do the call, put on the shower, you know, doing all that stuff, and then he's still, you know, going on about it. And but then we end the night, just me and the girl. We just hit the strip club. So then that was just more of just a fun night.
There you go. That sounds like a great after party for a show.
Right?
It's a Russian involved. It definitely sounds like a South Florida story for sure.
Oh, yeah, it was on
There's
South
a lot
Beach.
of a lot of Russians here. So that is definitely those awkward. Oh, sorry, you know.
Wow, that's a good one.
Yeah.
Oh my God. So, you know, other things too, as we talk about, you know, is people that are in the music community or people you want to kind of recognize, you know, and we tie, it's all part of it is that we tie these shows together and connect people and so forth. And one of the segments we have is MVP of the week. Do you have somebody also who's like, you know, your MVP who's maybe helped you out musically or just, you know, I know what's the best way that we just try to describe this?
Someone who is instrumental in the fact that you're a musician.
Yeah, definitely my father.
Okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. Yeah.
He's the guy helping me put up the posters in Timbuktu and all that stuff.
All right. So
Yeah.
all right there.
Rock on.
So where exactly is Timbuktu?
I'll say Arcadia, maybe just for
Probably.
me.
Yeah.
Just-
Yeah. That's a guy. Yeah. That's a
Between
real.
just-
It's kind of scary when you look at it on the map.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I tell people I got to show in Arcadia. I'm like, where is that? I'm like, right? Just zoom right in here. It looks like, you know, like, what is it, Moscow, Russia? And you're zooming in around the woods. It's just around the forest. But it looks cool. There's like the two roads. Just like, these are how you
they
get
got
in.
two whole
This is how you
roads.
get
That's
out,
right.
you
I
know?
think there's only like two stops.
But
two traffic
Timbuktu
lights
is easy
there.
to find because once you get past Timbuktu 1, it's right before Timbuktu 3.
Oh Jesus. Does he? Hold on,
I've
Devin.
never heard that one.
There you go. Thank
I've
you,
never
Devin.
heard
Yeah.
that one. That is a good one. That is a good one.
That is a new one. That is a new one for me as well. So I will save that for my dad jokes.
Yeah, that's about as funny as a dad joke.
So, oh my God. So
I have a
yeah,
question
yeah.
for you.
What's
First,
up?
how old are you?
23.
So you and I are similar in age. Do you see this is going back to the topic about internet and phones and
Oh,
socializing
and by the way,
all that
if
stuff?
you don't know, our ghost on the ox, this is Devin, our ghost on the ox,
That's
who you
me.
can't see, but you can hear because
He's
he
a
is the
ghost.
ghost on
You
the
will
ox.
hear me whether you want to or not. I do the recording. I don't do the editing though, so he could cut me out if he wanted to. Anyway, my question on that
You'll
is
hear us whether he likes it or not.
yeah, yeah.
There you go.
I'm too lazy to edit his parts out. So you're in it. You're in it.
So I make it in due to laziness. Yeah, awesome. My legacy is incompetence. Anyways,
Exactly.
no, I'm just kidding. Anyway, so do you find that like people of like, do you find it frustrating that like there's people of our age circles, I'm 25, that like really struggle with physically in person networking with each other? Like I feel like so many people get stuck into the social media and online aspect of marketing and advertising that they forget like going out to places and talking to people and performing your stuff, and or if you're not a performer, if you're doing something else, just going and mingling with people is like a crucial part of it too.
Absolutely. I mean, there's people that come up to me and they're getting their music career like in order, and they want to get out and they want to start performing, and say they even have they're a duo or or they have a show together where they can, you know, they can start charging to do a show. And the first question is saying, so how do you get your shows? And, you know, the basic answer is like, oh, yeah, you know, the
ask for it.
emails, you know, you do the emails. But then I'm like, you know, but if you want a for sure way, you know, you go there and you go and try to meet the owner. And when I say that, sometimes they're like, wait, what? Like, yeah, you just go there. If you know that they do music there, just go and talk to the owner, tell them what you're about, and step from there. And it's a big thing because, and the reason why I think they struggle with it is because when we're on the internet and we're seeing these people that literally look like they are shooting out from thin air, and their following is just growing because they're making some really good content. For one, they're making great content. They're getting followers from that. For some of them, they've never even played a stage, and they've got a huge following that now they're able to call any venue and really actually just do ticket sales to where they don't even have to really even do any mingling. So it's like it's almost that tricking of the masses, because it's a small population that could, or a small percentage that could do that, just like blow up on Instagram and then just book gigs just, out of the blue. So it's like we see that and we're like, oh, if I'm just emailing and texting, why am I not getting a gig, And then you just do the math and you're like, well, if all your friends are doing that, they're getting a lot of emails, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And if 10 times more of them, and then it's just being flooded down there. So I feel like it's more of a deterrent because it's not the immediate response. We get the immediate response with the phone. So you get that just like the justification immediate. You know whether you like it or not. And now this patience waiting game. You could even have a great interaction with a venue owner. They won't get back to you maybe next year, just because they don't have the funds maybe, and they don't even have everything in order to do live music. And they're just like, we're not organizing it. But they've always kept you in mind just because you went to the place.
I also wonder, and I want your opinion on this. I also wonder if people of our generation just really struggle with just being antisocial and not really being comfortable enough to just go out to places and do that. There's still a group of us that do, but I'm saying there's like a large population that are just so ingrained with online communication that they just don't even consider going and socializing in person, or they lack the social skills to even do it.
So
Parking's a bitch.
if I may,
That's true.
parking is a bitch.
Parking is a bitch now. You guys got it great. You guys could just pull up to the place, leave it.
Wait.
Windows down.
Wait. Are you proclaiming that we have a handicap passes? Is that what you?
No, I'm saying
old?
You got front row.
No, I'm saying
Come on now.
Everywhere
That's
you go.
ageism,
And
man.
no, I'm not
Come
saying
on.
everywhere you
No,
go,
he's
you gotta
talking about-
pay. Everywhere
about the
you
big
gotta go,
city.
you gotta pay at least $20 to
Yeah,
park.
no, for sure.
I'm saying
yeah.
it wasn't like that until people were like, oh man, you could charge people to park.
Oh, I forgot. Yeah, you owe me $20 for the parking
Yeah.
tonight.
Yeah. But no, I will say with that, with that, it's more of a, I think it's just, it's the lifestyle that we were kind of surrounded by. You strip away something as small that we were talking about, Blockbuster. Just take that away. It's something that's so small, as you had to talk to someone about a movie.
Right.
Just, what's good, man? All right, bring it back. It's still like it's just,
So real crazy though. So it's a little bit kind of you said Blockbuster there. You had to actually interact with somebody. I got locked in on Sunday watching like the History Channel about all this stuff, how companies that we know today were formed, right? And one of them was like how supermarkets started. It was like Kroger's and other companies. How they initially were like somebody walked a customer around the store and collected and said, take this, and then somebody had the idea. It's like, well, here we're just going to give you a basket, and you're going to go walk around. And it was foreign at first, and then now they transitioned to where you just shop yourself. You pick what you want.
Now you just shop online.
Well, yeah, now you shop
Right,
online.
yeah.
But it was like this evolution of having to push. Now we see it today in all the stores where you're self checkout, right? You don't even have to. So we've pushed things onto people to do themselves that we've normally had to hold their hand or kind of be more interactive. So maybe it's not just so much, Devin, is that it's a generational thing of disconnecting from the human aspect of things. But for those that I think for us that we grew up with a lot of, and we recognize there's still an interaction that means a lot. The human, human interaction as opposed to just. I mean, there's also convenience too. Don't get me wrong. I mean, sometimes I'm like, don't talk to me. I know what I'm here for. Just get my stuff and get the hell out, right? But being able to go and talk to somebody, ask questions. How about this? It's not like buying tires. Right? You're not going in there and collecting. Right? Tires. You need to talk to somebody, right? Yeah.
I have a thought on this.
you do. You still.
Well,
do
I
have
just
to do
wanted
that.
to. My only comment was as we were talking about the topic, it reminded me about how when I was looking for my first job ever as a kid, my mom made it like really drilled it into my head that everywhere you apply to, particularly the places you're interested in, you have to not only apply, but go there in person and meet them, because that leaves a bigger impression. Just that they see your face, shook your hand, know that you actually exist, and not just a piece of paper that they have to, decipher, whether you're worthy of working there or not.
Yeah.
So you don't even have to meet the requirements.
Right.
But
exactly.
Just
Yeah,
who
they
you are
like
as a
you.
person.
Yeah.
And then they meet the next person. They meet all the requirements and more. And they're like, I don't like this person.
Right.
Exactly.
So,
And I think that translates really heavily into a space we're all talking about in music and everything.
In my opinion, the younger generations, get, and I'm guilty of this as well, get put down because of their lack of social skills. But it being difficult to interact with other people is not new. It's never been easy. And given the choice of doing public speaking and taking a bullet, most people would choose the bullet. And that has been since the beginning of time. I think the real thing is that because of the convenience of non-interactive communication, the fact that younger people have been able to get as far as they have without interaction, it makes it seem even harder than it really is. But it's never been easy.
I think it gives the illusion to some that the in-person interaction is less valuable.
That's a valid point. And I've done a lot of networking, and I've actually trained people on how to network. And for anyone who's out there who is worried about personal interaction, the reason why you're worried about interacting with other people personally is because you're not going to come across as grandiose as you feel as though you should. So the thing that you need to do when you're interacting with other people is be genuine. And if you're a new artist who's built up a show and is ready to charge and you want to start getting gigs, do exactly what has just been described. Go in there, but don't go in there and try to be all that. Go in there and say, listen, I'm young and I'm so scared I'm about to pee on myself, but I want to perform in your club, and this is who I am, and this is why we belong here. And if you do that, you will gain credibility. But if you walk in there and you try to pretend to be cool, even though everyone can tell you're not, you are not going to gain any credibility. So the key to proper networking is not to come across and be great, is to come across and be genuine and admit to what everyone can tell is already going on. And in that way, you will be endearing. In that way, you will be personable. And in that way, you will create strong bonds with people who can further your career.
Absolutely.
Where's the applause?
No, it's the truth.
Yeah, no. Being humble, right? I think that's a state, especially when you're starting out. You don't know where to start. And I think though too is it's
Even when you're a big shot, people appreciate a little humility.
Yeah, no, for sure, because it goes a long way, right? It's the higher you go up, then the harder the fall is going to be. And I think also too is I'm sure you would agree, right? Being vice president of the Treasure Coast Blues Society, right? This guy, is having a group like this for young artists to come up and talk to people like you or talk to other members of the thing and to help each other, right? Grow the community. And you remember how hard it was coming up, right? And then say, hopefully, right, you recognize to grow that next and help each other out. So I think there's a lot of that comes into mentorship. I don't know if mentorship is really a thing in the music space,
It's a part of the life.
Yeah.
We're all in the same barrel. We're all on the same team as musicians. And so those people who are like not being in a cooperative spirit, in a helpful spirit, they're counterproductive to themselves. So many people are fragile with their ego. They're like, wow, if I let anybody else know how good this is, like nobody will ever hire me again. Like, don't be like that.
Yeah.
I mean, we're all in this together.
Yeah.
There's plenty of gigs. There's more gigs than there are people, trust me.
Yep.
And so you're not, a flame loses nothing by lighting another. So, help everyone, because that is how you get the help you need.
Very cool. So we got so much more we want to talk about. We're out of time, though. You think you can come back next week, though?
Oh yeah, absolutely, man.
Cool.
Here, I also want to give you guys this poster.
Oh, okay.
Got it.
All
Oh, wait, cool.
yeah.
Let's
All
check
right,
this out.
Yeah, all right. Okay.
Is this the one? Is this the one we saw?
Well, no. So it is the artwork, but it's actually everyone who is a part of Dusk Till Dawn. So the artist that made this, this is actually the original. So and then basically
This is the original?
That's the original. So that is his artwork.
Very cool.
And yes, and then I used obviously the one that you see in the middle on the poster.
Right.
This is awesome. Thank you.
We gotta
We're going to display this prominently.
get this framed up. Yeah, very cool. All right, see, guys, this is what you do: is you bring us stuff, right? Yes, and then we're gonna put it on the wall here, and we're gonna put it on the real wall. Okay, guys.
Do we have a Sharpie in here or a pen of
I'm sure we probably can find a Sharpie.
We need an
somewhere.
autograph
Yeah,
on
so
this
we'll Sharpie it before the next episode. You'll see it autographed. How about that? So, so what before we go ahead and wrap up though is what do you got upcoming gigs here? Like mid April time frame, end of the month.
in May?
Yeah, May. What have we got?
Feel.
Yeah, I'm the
I
same.
gotta pull out the calendar.
I'm the same way. I got no idea what I'm doing if I'm not looking at my schedule.
I'm always in Miami, also on
Okay,
South
okay.
Beach,
Yeah,
almost
yeah.
every weekend. So if you're ever in
So
Miami,
you're playing down in Miami.
yes, yeah,
Okay,
I'm at the W Hotel. I'm
Okay.
usually there almost
Okay.
probably
Very
every
cool.
week. Yeah,
Okay.
either Thursday or Saturday.
Okay.
And if you guys are also down in Tarpon Springs, May 17th, Tarpon Springs,
Okay.
Tampa. And then I'm also playing at the Hollywood Beach Band Shell but this is later. This is way later, like
okay.
August.
Yeah. Okay.
Shout out to that thunderstorm.
I know. Yeah. Thunderstorms in what March?
August 21st, Band Shell, Hollywood Beach Band
Okay.
Shell.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So. I mean, this may be somebody we have to drag along with us to keep when we go on our Key West trip to for Rumfest.
Oh,
Yeah. So
Maybe.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah. Well, so we'll have to talk about that offline. We'll have your people call our people. Devin, get on that.
so it really has been cool. Would you guys be willing to make the drive next week and come back and hang out with us?
And man, you saw where the posters go, man. They're
Yeah.
further than here, man.
These guys are not afraid to drive. Well,
All right.
you didn't take your life into your own hands to take the Bright Line up, did you?
No, we drove.
Okay.
We drove.
I don't think the Bright Line goes east to west, does it?
No, from Miami up, maybe.
Oh,
Right,
okay, yeah, could be.
I think they're trying to get it up to Orlando, right? Or
Yeah.
Jacksonville.
Stewart, right?
Stewart, yeah.
They're trying to get Treasure Coast. Yeah, that's right.
Yes, because that's where the treasure is.
Where the
That's
treasure
right.
is.
That's right. All right. Well, yeah, this has been a cool episode here.
This has been a cool episode.
Yeah.
By the way, how you doing? You doing okay?
I'm doing okay.
Yeah, good.
Yeah.
Good. So, ladies and gentlemen,
Our glasses are empty, but
congratulations. Well, we have to do a toast at the
Okay,
end. We did
there
a
you
toast
go.
at the
There you go.
beginning.
There you go.
But we did a shot at the beginning. We might as well round it out with a shot at the end. This has been
Thank you.
a really fun episode. I'm glad to be back. And we are here on the Riffs and Rhythms promoting Florida original music, and in particular, Apostolic Floyd himself. And maybe next week we can go into the history of how you got the name and all that stuff. That would be cool.
Absolutely.
I know
Yeah.
that's cool. So here's to Floyd.
Yeah.
Thank you, Kevin. Thank you, Paul.
Cheers. And this is
Riffs and
Rhythms Podcast.
I am Kevin McLaughlin, and this is
Paul Robertson. See y'all next week. Don't forget to check out YouTube channel, listen, subscribe, podcast, Apple, B3 Podcast Network, and all the other stuff we probably forgot to plug.
Ghost on the Ox has new episodes now.
Oh, there you go.
there you go.
Check out the Ghost in the Oz and go out and support. Yeah, go out and support. Kevin.
what's his name? Kevin.
That guy. Yeah. What's his name? I know.
So I did a tour graphic today. So we're warming up for the solo tour of the UK.
we may have to edit and splice because we're out of sequence now.
Yeah, I thought we were ending.
Yeah,
we have
we-
to do another shot now
Yeah.
to really wrap it up.
No, this is still the ending. It's one of those long outros. But I just did a graphic today. It's the what is it, countdown to UK tour. So yeah, this is the outtakes on the credits,
The bloopers.
or like the MCU.
There's the
movies
post-credit
at
scene.
the end. Yeah, the post-credit scene. Yeah,
Setting
Where we
up
set
the next
Set up
movie.
the next movie. Yeah. So yeah, you can. I'll be posting the.
When does Thanos show up?
Yeah, we're gonna catch up to him and cut his head off. That's what we're gonna do. So anyway, starting this week is the countdown to UK tour. It's your last chance to see me before I leave the country.
Yeah, man.
So yeah, come by and see me off at one of the shows. You can go to kevinmclaughlinband.com. What's your website?
ApostolicFloyd.com.
ApostoliFloyd.com.
All right, there
On
you
screen right now.
On screen right now.
go.
If you can
It's
read.
whoever. Yeah. Point.
Right there.
There you go. All right. Whoa, where were you pointing at?
No, do that again and go
Or should it go right where?
Yeah,
Where's
right-
the spacing?
yeah, right here, baby.
Right here.
Somewhere on the screen.
Right on. All right,
Somewhere.
get out. We're done.